A very warm welcome to all our viewers. Today we have a very special guest with us, a sporting megastar who does not need any introduction whatsoever, but still, be it his shots on the field or his unique and classy dressing style off the field, he's cheered and revered all over. I present to you David Warner. Hi,
How you going?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
So 6 hours in the waiting, but worth the wait.
Yep.
So my first question to you is, David, if I may, your team is not off to a great start this season, and as the leader, as the captain, I can only imagine the amount of pressure you must be having. So during this phase, I want to understand, how do you make sure that the team is motivated?
The main thing is when we're 0-5 is to keep the guys energetic. One thing you can control when you come to training and the games is you can control your attitude. If you come with the best attitude possible, the best version of yourself, and your head's held high, the rest of the team will follow with the energy. And if one person doesn't, that will stand out amongst the group. And it's really important that you maintain that throughout the whole time. One thing with the team is the guys are in high spirits. We didn't lose games based on our skill, it was lack of execution. And right now we've got some momentum moving forward. We've won 2 in a row, which is exciting. And the guys are training very, very hard at the moment. But the morale is very high, and that's one thing that we have to keep in the group. And we've done that we're so well so far. And moving forward, if we keep winning, it'll stay like that.
Great. As a leader, how important do you think team building exercises are?
Yeah, team building exercises are great, especially the start of for us, like a big campaign, whether it's starting the IPL, for Australia, starting the Ashes. The lead-in is important. It's getting clear mind, clarity. You're about to engage in a big tournament, so you don't want to spend all your time concentrating and focusing so hard before you go out there. So by doing some team building exercises, for instance, for Australia we play a lot of golf together. So we have a thing called a green jacket that we play for. You have 4 rounds of golf, and the highest scorer obviously wins that jacket. So that's a team building exercise that a lot of us play because a lot of us are involved in that. If the people don't play golf, we go to a football match, or we go out for dinner, or there's always these fun games that you can play, which are exciting, like little hunts, little, like an Amazing Race style kind of thing. So, they're quite cool, but it's about having fun. And if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you should change your career. So it should be fun with what you're doing. And that's what team building exercise does, creates a lot of fun and a lot of energy.
Now, following up on the leadership idea, the laws of leadership are same across all professions, be it a job, be it a business, or be it sports, right? How would you say your leadership attributes as a sports person, as the skipper of a cricket team, can be applied to the world of business?
Number one thing is trust. You have to trust the people that you're with, and trust that they're going to back you as their leader. It's important that you keep relaying key messages and key values, and making sure each individual is adhering to the values of what the team is, the business, and where you're trying to get to and what you're trying to achieve. If everyone is not in the same boat, and one person decides to try and rock that, it can dismantle the whole ship. So you've got to be very, very careful. So as a leader, you've just got to make sure that everyone's on board. They trust your gut and your feel with what you're doing, and how you want to play. For us, how we want to play the game. In business, it's how you want to run the business. And it's important. We've got sales staff with a business that I'm with at home in a brewery, and it's important that they're all aligned on the same goal. And by doing that and by achieving that is by having our values and upkeeping those values. And I go back to it again, it's the attitude. If everyone's got the right attitude, the right discipline, and the hunger to succeed, then as a leader, your job is easy. But there's no complacency. You can't be comfortable. So as a leader, you'll always throw challenges towards others.
All right. Now, my next question to you is about fitness. especially in today's sports. In every sport, fitness plays a huge role. But there are still two schools of thoughts on this. One are people like you yourself, let's say another person, Virat Kohli, people who have athletes who have a very strict fitness regime, but at the same time there are people who don't, but they are good players. So what's your take on this?
Yeah, look, I don't know too much about what Virat's routines are. I know he goes to the gym a lot. For me, it's about clearing my mind. I find when I exercise, I think better, I make better decisions, and I feel better about myself. So a lot of times I opt out of going to skill training, but I'll go to the gym because I'm getting clarity in my mind about what's the task ahead, the next game, what individuals I'm coming up against. So that makes me have clear thoughts. If I'm having a not so good day, I'll go out and go for a run, or I'll lift some weights or do some form of exercise because one, it's healthy, it's lifestyle, it's part and parcel of our game. So I think the biggest test for me is when I finish to keep that going, and no doubt I will because my wife is very much into her fitness as well. So for me, it's just clarity, keeping my mind nice and clear in thought.
Okay. What does a day in the gym look like for you? What's your fitness routine?
Day in the gym for me would be, I like the treadmill. Treadmill's a big one. Squat rack,
Okay.
and some free weights. So I like my bicep curls. A few bench press, not too much. For us as cricketers, a lot of shoulder work. So a lot of rotations, a lot of like single arm back rows. So a lot of that for us in our upper body for strength and for when we're throwing in the outfield, it's important to do that.
Okay. Do you believe that franchisee leagues like the IPL have made an impact in making cricketing careers more viable and more sustainable?
Yeah, it can be. There's a lot of opportunities for a lot of people that don't get cited through waiting in the wings, as we say in Australia, that you might have a guy on a contract and doesn't get to play a game. And there's an opportunity with, instead of one team, there's now 6 or there's 8 or there's 10. So he's got an opportunity to play against the best. And then it showcases his talent, what he's like under pressure. And better off is he could be the next player for whether it's India or Australia, or whoever else country it is. It creates depth as well. So I always chuckle to myself when I say this because India at the moment can field 3, if not 4, full Indian squads because that's how much depth they have through creating the IPL. The IPL has created serious depth in cricket. It's got serious talent, has reached far and wide from from north to south, east to west of finding talent. And now you look around, a lot of guys bowl 150 kilometres an hour, where back in the day there's probably one. And that's for a lot of countries through their franchises. They've found these young guys that are bowling high speeds, and it gives them a good kickstart as well to their career.
Right. What is the best format of cricket today and why?
I still think best format, because I play it, and I've played 100 games, is Test cricket. It's called Test cricket for a reason. It's very hard. Played over 5 days, sometimes 2 or 3 days, depends on how good we are. But it's mentally draining. Like it is, after a series, mentally you're exhausted. So much thought, so much time, so much weight of expectation as well to deliver. But the best thing as a batsman, you get 2 innings. So if you miss out in the first innings, you can almost, hopefully guarantee some runs in the second if you're good enough. But I think it's the best format to play.
Okay. Do you feel ODI is still relevant today?
Yeah, it's an interesting question about ODI cricket. I think you've got to look at it from a business perspective, is that it's 6 to 7 hours on TV. It's a high break point as well. So there's a lot of overs, 100 overs of breaks as well. So, that's where the advertising comes into it. As a cricketer, you've got to think about external as well, how the business is run, how do teams, or how do franchises, how do countries make money, and revenue is through advertisements, a big part. So, there will be a point where there has to be a conversation about it, because three forms moving forward, it's very difficult to play.
There already is actually.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and you throw in T10 as well. So, it's very difficult. But I think if one was to go, that would probably be the one that was to go, I reckon.
All right. Your predictions for the upcoming One Day International World Cup. How do you think the Indian and Australian teams will perform?
Yeah, look, I think on home soil there's going to be a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure on India. So for them, that's what they have to worry about. As an Australian coming here, we've just got to play cricket, play good brand of cricket, and we know what wickets we're going to get. Some will end up turning, some will be flat. It's going to get hard through the middle because that's how the wickets are. They sometimes can deteriorate, but we've played enough cricket over here to understand and to adapt to any situation that we face to take that on. So, look, if I'm an Australian, I'm saying Australia are playing India in the final, Australia are going to win.